It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys. Well, I put this photo up because tonight we're back. We're doing it on the second and fourth week of every month. We're doing a Let's Whine About It for our members only. So tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific. And trust me, there's a lot to whine about tonight. I have some ish that I want to dish on Bravo, some emails I want to talk about, and we will. But before we jump in and bring Jason up, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's welcome Jason. Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon for those on the East Coast.
For those on the East Coast, yes.
I still feel like it's morning. We've been up since 7, but I'm like on my 5th cup of coffee, just like trying to wake up.
I know. I was getting the jitters earlier because I think I've had 6 shots of espresso and I'm like, okay, I got to stop.
So in case you like die from a heart attack tomorrow, we'll know why.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I asked you in the live poll, what do you guys want to talk about first? And I gave you guys the options: Kathy defending Lisa Rinna's attacks, Teresa's 4-part wedding special, Marlo versus Kenya, and Tamra's full-time status. Plus, there's a couple other things. What?
I want to talk about something really quick.
Yeah.
So this Ultimate Girls Trip season 3, they just posted that Instagram video of them like walking up, dancing. You know how they do like to kind of like tease the show a bit. Yes, where's Leah McSweeney?
That's what I was
she supposed to be cast
too.
in this cast?
She's in the cast, right? Because if you go back, let me see. Hold on, because there was another photo that I wanted to bring up. And if you go back and look, hold on, here it is. Share screen. Hold on. Guys, 70 in the room. Don't forget to smash that like button. You see Leah McSweeney right there.
Did we see her here? So I'm wondering if something happened between, like, let's say the time they started and the time they finished. Was this a hint at that? Or there was no Leah McSweeney in that video?
Exactly. She could have gotten sick though, because honestly, so Jason and I lived in Thailand for a few months. And when we first got there, I was drinking the water. And remember, I ended up getting kind of sick for a second.
Yeah.
So she could have actually got sick, or she could have gotten sick of the other women and decided not to go. I mean, who actually knows? But Ultimate Girls Trip,
that's probably the more likely response, I would think.
It is interesting too, though. They already wrapped filming. They filmed for 10 days in Thailand. And when they did, I didn't realize that right around the same time that Jen Shah actually changed her plea to guilty was the same time that Heather Gay, who was in New York City with Meredith and Jen Shah, she was on a flight to Thailand. So obviously that's going to be a big topic of conversation on Ultimate Girls Trip. And like you said, maybe that's even going to be what brings Heather and Whitney back together. Because for those of you who don't know,
if your theory is true and Heather was on a plane and she just got that news when she got to Thailand, that is something I think Whitney and Heather would talk about. And maybe that would bring them like, because I think they're on the peace, or it was a friendship break.
Yeah, Whitney called for a friendship break this whole season, which, you know, going into it, we know that season 3, Whitney is going around and she's talking about Heather Gay to everyone and saying that she's on a friendship break. And Heather Gay didn't find out until halfway through the season that why Whitney wasn't talking to her. And she didn't even know that this friendship break existed. So it'll be interesting to say the least. And then of course we have 2 new women who didn't make it to full time. They're still friends of the show. And I don't think that they would make it to full time, but now with Jen Shah obviously out of the running, maybe somebody will get promoted.
From rumors that we've heard about season 3, I don't think it will be any of those people, but
no, it won't be Dana and it won't be Angie.
Yeah, I don't think so. And there's one more, isn't there?
I think there's 2 Angies. I could be blanking on this, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm excited to see. And everyone keeps asking me too, have you spoken to Jen Shah since the guilty verdict? We were just talking about this. And no, we haven't had a conversation. And we spoke a lot, you know, leading up to it. So I just think that right now she's probably spending time with her family. And I don't think that I would be the first one on the call list.
No, and you also have to put yourself in that space of mentally preparing for things to come. So, I mean, I wouldn't be talking to anyone if it was me.
I wouldn't be talking. I would just be spending time with my family. But speaking of family, let's get into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills drama, because Kathy Hilton is sort of defending Lisa Rinna's attacks. And I'm curious as to why. Now, we know that Lisa Rinna is putting Kathy Hilton on full blast because if you guys didn't see, well, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mid-season trailer came out this past week, and it's all about the Aspen trip. It's all about Kathy Hilton's meltdown. You have Diana Jenkins, Erica, Garcelle, Lisa Rinna. Everyone's talking about how they've never seen Kathy Hilton like this before. Kathy did admit in a conversation with Entertainment Tonight that she said something bad about her sister out of frustration and that she takes it back and that she's apologized to her sister since. But when she was asked, what do you think about Lisa Rinna and the way that she kind of navigated this, Kathy Hilton just said, she's like, honestly, I think that she had Kyle's best interest and my best interest. How? She's slamming you as a homophobic, racist narcissist on social media. How is that having your best interest?
And apparently that's not what the comment was really about.
Well, apparently the comment was
why
about,
she got upset.
Well, apparently from
there's
what
been
we've
so
heard,
many rumors for months, right? There's been so many rumors. We heard that she called Sutton's assistant something. We've heard that she, said this before, that she said this, and it's all been speculation. And now it's not looking like it's any of that.
Well, we've heard three things. We've heard one, that she called Sutton's assistant a homophobic slur. The second one was that she wanted the DJ to put on Michael Jackson. And then she said, I have white privilege, which I didn't believe that. And then the third one is she supposedly said something about Kyle Richards' kids, calling them ugly because she got with Maurizio. So who actually knows? And she even said in the interview, she's like, I don't know. None of this was caught on camera. So I don't know if they're going to say what happened or not. I'll be interested to see because Kathy Hilton still hasn't seen it. She won't know until probably 3 or 4 days before the actual episode airs. And I'm sure she's probably cringing thinking about it.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I don't know why she would be defending Lisa Rinna. And I've been saying this, and I even said this in our Beverly Hills recap. I have conversations with people who are close to Lisa Rinna. I think that Lisa is gearing up to make just an exit. I think that she's going out with a bang with the way that she's acting out on social media, the way she's calling out production, the way she's calling out her cast members. I mean, we know because we've sat down with a few housewives before in the past, even going to dinner with them, whatever. And we talk sometimes about production, and they're not allowed to say anything on social media that doesn't have something to do with that show and what's currently going on. Lisa Rinna, I couldn't imagine where she would get this many passes to be able to say whatever she wants. And I'm wondering, does she have more on Kathy Hilton and why Kathy Hilton's defending her and saying, oh, I think she might have had my best interest? Or is it because Kathy, she's a classier woman and she doesn't want to continue to engage. She just wants this to be behind her and she wants the episode to air. That way she can move on.
I mean, I don't know. I'm picturing myself, these ladies have held our attention through the Erica, debacle with Tom. They've held our attention for so long, but I really think we're in need of a shakeup, and I wouldn't mind not seeing Lisa Rinna anymore. I wouldn't really mind not seeing Erica anymore. I would love to see a cast built maybe around Garcelle. I'm good with Kathy. But I think it is time for a little shakeup here in Beverly Hills. There are too many interesting people. And as much as I really like Crystal when she is on the show, it just doesn't seem like anything is happening with Crystal or has happened with Crystal in a season and a half.
I like Crystal, but we have heard rumors of a cast shakeup, which I don't know if I necessarily believe. And I don't think you've heard these yet, but the rumor is that Kyle Richards might be on the chopping block and that Kathy Hilton and Kim Richards would be filming next season together. But why I don't believe that is because I feel like I know Andy Cohen loves Kim Richards. Kathy Hilton has already said in an interview that her and Kyle would be able to get Kim to come back and film the show. Kim said it on Instagram Live that Andy Cohen has been reaching out to her to get her to come back on the show. So I feel like it's his dream to have all three sisters on the show at the same time.
I mean, and I said this before, it's either you like her or not, right? Kyle Richards is kind of like, you either like her or not, right? But I don't really think it's just not Beverly Hills without Kyle Richards. I mean, like her or not, right? And to have all three of the sisters on the show, I think that is where it will be a win. I don't know if I'm too excited to see Kim back, but who else would they pair with the three ladies? That would be interesting. Garcelle can't go anywhere. I mean, she is all of us, right?
Right. I think I've said this since the beginning. I think if Kim can come back and remain healthy and navigate, because this is stressful, right? We even, used to have conversations with LVP and she would be stressed out from it. We've talked to some of the other, again, housewives, and they talk about how the filming process it sometimes can bring the worst out of you. And for Kim, she doesn't hold back. In one episode in Amsterdam, she screamed at Eileen, called her a beast. She like screamed at Lisa Rinna and said, "You don't want me to say what I know about the husbands." She literally ripped the whole table apart. Like Kim, she said in her interview with Entertainment Tonight, "I'm the feisty one." She's like, "You don't want to bring that side out of me." So if we're bringing back Kim Richards, especially because her book, she had a tell-all that was supposed to come out that she was paid $300,000 for, and then she got sued by her ghostwriter, allegedly. And then after that, they ended up squashing the book, and the book was supposed to have secrets about Harry Hamlin. If Lisa Rinna is going to come out here and go on the show, national television, and say that she's close to death, I want to see Kim Richards come back and say whatever she has to say. Get it off your chest, because everyone else is fair game to Lisa Rinna. So I think it's only fair to bring someone in who might know stuff on you. And if we're saying that Kyle Richards doesn't have a storyline, then Lisa Rinna for damn sure doesn't have a storyline. I don't know what either one of their storylines are.
And I don't know what Dorit's next storyline could possibly be. Like, I don't know where we could go. Like, I think it's time to open it up, and I don't know if Diana was a great addition to the show. I keep forgetting that Crystal's on the show. I like her when she's on the show, but when I think about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Crystal's not someone that I think of.
And I think for Dorit too, I think that why it would be easy to get, I think it would be easy to get rid of her because I don't see a whole lot of storyline. And obviously this season was unfortunate with the robbery and everything. But I think Andy Cohen loves her because she brings the fashions. If you had to, let's say you have to get rid of 3 people from this cast right now, who are you axing?
Lisa Rinna. From this current cast, Lisa Rinna, Dorit, Crystal.
I wouldn't axe Lisa Rinna.
I don't care for her anymore. I really don't. I understand how she kind of made, creates drama and has this kind of outspoken energy and is just, let's talk about it, mention or whatever,
mention it all.
There's just so many more interesting people. We can do better.
Well, but I think, remember when Margaret Joseph said on stage for Spilling Tea Live New York, she's like her or hate her, you're still talking about her and she's giving you a show. And again, if we throw Kim Richards in, it's game on, because Kim is going to put a target on Rinna's back for the way that she treated Kathy this season.
Well, then who do we lose then? Who would your 3 be? Are we going to put Erica in there? Because how long are we going to watch this train wreck? How do we...
another season of the train wreck.
Okay, so then there's going to be no cast shakeup. If you have Lisa, Erica, you're just going to add Kim and Kathy? Is Kathy going to be full-time?
No.
Are we keeping Diana? Are we keeping Crystal? What's going on?
I would probably cut Dorit and Diana for sure. I don't know who my third would be, but I would bring in Kim Richards. And I don't even know, I wouldn't even add another person. I would bring in Kim Richards. I wish Sheree Zampino would want to, I wish she would want to be full-time, but we know that she doesn't want to be full-time. But honestly, just adding Kim into the mix, give her a full-time diamond, whatever, and just let her film her scenes with Kathy and let her come in and get revenge for Kathy against Lisa Rinna. That would be a show in itself. And then Erica's going to defend Lisa Rinna because they blindly defend each other all the time. And Kim's going to be like, you shut your goddamn mouth. And it's going to be great.
And maybe this is Lisa's plan the whole time.
What?
She's going to start shit with Kathy because she's heard rumors that Kim will come back. It's a door open for Kim. It's more drama that Lisa can stay, relevant for. And she has a storyline.
But if she really wanted to stay, why would she sit there and continuously act out on the way that she's going out on social media, slamming production, slamming the Real Housewives of Dubai, saying that she can't talk about Garcelle because that automatically makes her a racist. And then every time she makes a post, she apologizes right after, which means she's getting a phone call from Bravo or somebody at production who's saying, hey, listen, you're messing up. Back that shit up. Like Dorinda says, back it up, pull back, apologize. Because this looks really bad.
Though she knows her contract is coming to an end, she's just making noise, and any noise will help, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what goes through that head.
I mean, I don't know either. I don't know. TT Doll, thank you for the super chat. I said no to having Kim Richards back, but I'll take anything over Sutton. I just hate her. But Sutton also, too, she kind of won me over this season and last season. I think that she's a mess, and I think sometimes she's cringy to watch, and she's definitely getting into her own. Like Garcelle said, she's filling her shoes now at this point, and she's not afraid of anyone. It's kind of entertaining. It's weird, but it's entertaining.
It's a strange entertaining. It's strange to watch, but it is fun. It's It is fun. I would like to see the dynamic change a little bit. Again, I think Diana was not the addition everyone thought she was going to be. I still haven't seen who Crystal. Still, we don't know anything about Crystal. I mean, we do, but we don't.
I mean, she's about to have a big episode this upcoming episode because it's Erica telling her go eat a chicken tender and take a laxative. So there will be drama. And then if you saw the Beverly Hills mid-season premiere, you see where Crystal brings up the whole widows and orphans and the earrings thing, and Lisa Rinna tells her shut her mouth, which is so obvious that Lisa Rinna and Erica are like over here in cahoots. And then Sutton says that Lisa Rinna's talking out of both sides of her mouth, and Lisa Rinna kicks Sutton out of her house. So there's going to be some shit.
I can't wait. It's so funny because we started off like I think I said this last time we did Hot Messy Topics. We started off with the whole Dorit robbery. We started off with some drama again, with Erica and with Sutton and Diana, and we're thinking, oh wow, this is kind of a good season. And then they just splashed this mid-season trailer that is just so dramatic.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the rest of Beverly Hills. I mean,
Beverly Hills is saving Real Housewives right now, and Atlanta's getting better too. Atlanta's getting better. Beverly Hills is saving it.
If we're going to transition into Atlanta, I'm really loving the cast. I'm even liking these friends. Well, like I really am for all the trouble they're causing. It's fun. It's fun.
All right. So before we get into Atlanta, I did want to talk about this really quick because news broke, and obviously Bravo hasn't confirmed it yet, and we don't know if it's going on Bravo or Peacock, but this woman right here is getting a 4-part special, a 4-part wedding special spinoff. Now, I can already imagine how they're filming this only because I've had some conversations again with some other housewives. And I know, for example, for Jen, Bravo had to kind of cram her scenes in and make her wear different outfits to film different scenes before she went to New York, right? Because they have a show to film, and now she's given them like a limited time to film with them. For Teresa, they're not going to film all the way through The Real Housewives of New Jersey season 13. And then 2 weeks before her wedding, they're going to pick up the cameras and catch 4 episodes worth of a special because she has the planning to do. She has the wedding invitations. I think that they're going to stage the whole Ramona leaked the thing. Remember the wedding invite? And I bet you what they're doing right now is they're filming extra with Teresa to get those pickup shots for the special in order to put that together. But a 4-part special, I want to ask you guys in the live chat, is that necessary?
No, it's like doing a 3-part reunion for the Housewives. I mean, we don't need that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's enough people who want to see that.
I think that it could have been, honestly, it could have been our finale on season 13.
Well, and that would have been a great finale.
It would have been a great finale. And, I was wondering too, because Dolores Catania wasn't invited to her engagement party, whatever, because she said she only invited couples that they went on double dates with. And that her wedding party was going to be her girls and then Teresa or Louis' sisters, right? Mm-hmm. Now she added Dolores Catania and Jennifer Aiden to her wedding party, and Dolores and Jennifer hate each other. Dolores recently just said in a Page 6 exclusive interview, she has nothing nice to say to Jennifer. She needs to stay out of her face, out of her space. So this is I feel like it's for the dramatics. It's for the drama.
It's for the drama.
It's for the drama. Sure. I mean,
it's always for the drama. We're talking about the Real Housewives here.
I mean, but there's not again, it doesn't excite me to get a 4-part wedding. I don't know what we could possibly cover in 4 parts because we have to book the wedding venue, right? We have the invitations. We're going to have a manic Teresa getting ready for it and then having the drama surrounding Melissa not being a part of the bridal party. Then we're going to have Louis and get to meet his family probably. We're going to bring the families together, and that's going to be an interesting part.
I mean, listen, Caroline and Sergio have done it in an episode and a half, so I'm sure that they could do it.
That's all it takes.
In a more condensed way.
That's all it takes. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here after we go through the rest of the topics. That way you guys can start calling in. But I mean, again, I want to hear what you guys think about watching a Teresa Louis wedding special.
I'm going to vote no.
I mean, I feel bad, but I really don't care. I'm going to vote no, as well. Hold on, let's see what you guys are saying. Can Teresa spell 4-part wedding special? Okay. All right. It's like the 3-part reunion that's endless and painful. No, yeah. I know. Next, Juicy Joe will be bartending at Teresa's wedding. I feel like it should be Teresa gets married. I vote no. Yeah, I mean, I guess Bravo is paying for Teresa's wedding. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. See, Adam just told us the entire show. I don't have to watch now. I mean, that's exactly what's happening. She wanted her own spinoff. Nene got a special. Kandi got a special. And she probably feels like she deserves a special because she's been on for all of the season. She's an OG. Andy Cohen loves her. So I think what she said in her mind was, no, I'm not going to take this and let it be on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I deserve a spinoff. And in getting that spinoff, because we've seen her expensive ass invitations, which she has money anyways, and so does he, until he continues to get sued by all of his exes, which is why she should have got a prenup, but she didn't. Bravo's paying for the wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lot, but yeah. I vote no. I'm watching. I love Teresa. No. And her family, but 4 parts. Episode 1, the love bubble. 1 episode would have been fine and probably too much for just one. Adam, leaving it up to you to tell me about it. I mean, give her that spin off and let her spin right off into the sunset. Teresa is always over the top. Okay. All right. We're going to keep it moving because we have some Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Orange County, and Southern Charm to talk about. I want to talk about.
We never make it to Southern Charm, so we have to make sure we get to Southern Charm.
Oh, okay. I mean,
we never make it to Southern Charm. Actually,
we can hit that nail on the head really quick.
Let's hit it really quick.
We saw this coming, right? 300 in the room, smash that like button. Shep and Taylor broke up.
Yes.
Now, Shep obviously is like Peter Pan in the sense that this guy is never growing up. And watching this past week's episode of Shep going on a guy's trip to Charlotte with Austin and also Craig and Paige. Why was I blinking on him? You could see where Shep is kind of a douche. And I don't mean to be mean, but like your girlfriend, you don't understand why she's getting upset when you're trying to go and travel, because you're cheating on her.
You have history and everyone knows about that history. I'm sure Taylor has heard or known about that history. And I understand her concerns. Now, I don't know if he's a total douche. This guy just has complete Peter Pan syndrome.
No,
and it's
come on.
It's catching up to him, though. I know, but the thing is, it's not like you were Shep from like season 1, 2, 3. You're not this like young guy anymore with like, you know what I mean? You're kind of like your age is showing a little bit. You're starting to like, I don't know. I mean, you have Craig over here who's like, I think in love with Paige. I'm not sure if that's going to be a keeper or whatever. Austin's trying to figure it out here, and now he has Olivia, but he keeps talking about Madison, which we really have to talk about. But Shep is kind of like lost in the woods here.
I think it's total douchey vibes, only because it's like this poor girl is sitting at home and she's getting anxiety, and then you're getting upset with her, screaming her on the phone because she has anxiety. And the only one who's making sense here is Craig saying, dude, you did this to yourself. If you don't want her to get anxiety every time you leave for a boys trip, then stop cheating on her. And then you see him and he's like bonding with some girl at the bar about going to jail. What?
Have you ever woken up in jail? She's like, yeah. He's like, I have to. Like it's like, again, at your age, it just is not cute. It's not cute anymore. So I would be lucky I would be, because that would never happen, but he should be lucky to have someone like Taylor.
Exactly. Well, Taylor.
Too bad that is not happening anymore. Good for Taylor.
You know what's going to happen, though, I feel, because Taylor was so good for Shep, I feel like we're going to get another Austin Madison sort of F up here, because Austin will not stop talking about Madison. It's almost like she's the one who got away. Mind you, he cheated on her a couple of times as well. And then finally she got fed up and she's like, I have a child, like I want growth. I want a real relationship. I want someone who's serious, and that's not you. But it looks like Austin's not happy with her new relationship because he won't stop talking about Madison, even on his dates with Olivia. And Madison's happy. She has her new Mormon boyfriend, which that's what I wanted to ask you about.
Listen, Madison has just went from a 6 to a 10. She's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that Austin looks like a Muppet, which is really messed up.
That's so stupid.
But no, I mean, she really has. Brett is a good-looking guy. He has a good head on his shoulders. He has a great career.
I actually love the fact that he's not on social media and he's not trying to he's not out to get something for himself here. You know, that's what it seems like anyway. He's quiet. He remains kind of in the background. I forgot what he does. Is he a firefighter, or am I making that up?
You might be making that up. Guys, in the live chat, will you let us know what Brett's career is?
I really think he is, and I think he is, and he makes good money.
I mean, I don't think that she's with him for the money.
No, obviously, no. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I think he's a firefighter.
I mean, listen, she has a nice diamond, so he's making some sort of money, unless she's Vicky Gumbel seeing herself in my own diamond, which could have been possible.
Well, I found it interesting that, because I was raised Mormon, that she shared with the girls when they went out that he is Mormon. I don't think anyone knew that.
That's
So
my question
that
for
could
you is,
explain,
can this
you know,
relationship last if he's Mormon and she doesn't convert?
of course. I mean, listen, my dad, who comes from a Jewish Catholic family, converted to Mormonism for my mom, but he didn't have to. So I don't know. Every religion is different because my grandfather was Jewish, my grandmother was Catholic, and my grandfather actually had to leave to marry my grandmother who was Catholic. So it's I don't know. You don't nowadays. I think we're a little more progressive where you don't have to convert.
Well, and there's a lot of money in the Mormon church because somebody said he has money. So maybe he does. And I did want to add to this. I saw where people were ripping apart Madison on social media when they were like, she's so stupid. She thought that they were like, where they dress up and they have the bonnets and stuff and they're like churning butter. And what was the first thing I said to you when you said you came from a Mormon background? When I was like 20 years old, I was like, what does that mean?
Oh,
I thought the same thing. I thought that you lived on like I don't know, like in the middle of nowhere and you just had your own little like society. I didn't know I just wasn't aware. I didn't grow up around Mormons. So I didn't know, and then come to find out, like, I love my big Mormon family reunions now. It's a great time. It's all of the younger generation complaining, why did I get married and have 10 kids?
Why did I have 10 kids?
It's the older generation who's just like, yes, keep the values. And I'm just sitting back, like, drinking my mimosa, like
drinking our mimosa and our Yetis, trying to hide the facts that we're getting drunk, like, listening to everyone talk.
I'm like, there's some shit going on here.
I don't know, but listen, where Madison is at her life, she says that, he's good for her. She says that he makes her feel good and inspired. I think that's great. Yeah, I heard he was a firefighter. I've seen some, comments about a firefighter. He used to be a basketball player. That's all I really know about him. But the mystery is great because I'm interested to know more about him, and I'm interested to see him with Madison. I don't think we'll get to see that, but Madison has remained. God, I can't even talk. Remained one of like the main, if not the main cast member on this show, being a friend.
Exactly. And the only reason she took a friend role, which Austin was shading her, saying you have a reduced role, like sit back and shut up. The only reason she took a reduced role was because she did not want to subject Brett to the cameras and put him in the middle of the drama. And Brett was able to do something that Austin couldn't, which was bonding with her child. And he also went to her son and had her son be a part of the engagement and asking Madison to marry him, which means he has good family values. And what I'm excited about, and I know that not everybody watches Southern Charm, and don't worry, we'll move past this. But what I'm excited about is that Austin's new girlfriend, Olivia, is having a house party at her parents' house, which Madison keeps calling her homeless. She's not homeless, Madison. But she keeps calling her homeless, and she's throwing a house party at her house, and Madison shows up, and Austin's like, Madison's here. And Olivia's like, why is it always about Madison? And she's like, this is my show.
I mean, and this is the last thing we can say. We can move on from Southern Charm, but what was I going to say? Damn it. I don't know. I'm lost now. I lost my train of thought here.
This is interesting.
Oh, when you saw Austin on Watch What Happens Live last week, he was so uncomfortable talking to Andy. He wanted to rush through questions, and he knew questions were coming. I mean, he's still like, you can see that he's spinning about this, that he's never going to have Madison back.
And, Chris, it was Elaine Hargate. Before I get to Elaine's question, TT Doll said, in Norway, we have to convert to Mormon if you're going to marry one. I am one of 3 wives now, and I'm super happy.
Ooh, if you're one of 3 wives, you are not Mormon, because Mormons do not practice polygamism or polygamy. Excuse me.
Polygamy.
Yeah. When the church started, they did, but they don't anymore. So it could be like a fundamental Latter-day Saints or something.
Huh. Why would Madison throw shade? Hasn't she moved on too? I think that the producers are pushing, and like Gabrielle just said, Patricia is a producer. I think that
Patricia Whitney is a producer as well.
Yeah. And if you see, Madison has a great relationship with both of them. And I think that they push her to shade the hell out of Austin. And it's just such an easy target because he's opening up the conversation anyways by constantly talking about her. So then they're like, this is what he's saying about you. What do you have to say? And I think they get her fueled up. And then she's like, why would I want to be with somebody like him? So it's easy. It's easy back and forth. All right, guys, we're going to move on.
Really I have to say, because it was Shan in the chat. It was Krista Marie and a couple of other people who's like, you have to watch Southern Charm, because last season with the pandemic. It was just such a boring season. And I used to watch it back in the day, but I'm so invested in this new season. I love the cast. I think they're a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out.
And I didn't realize, because I slept on Southern Charm for a long time, like I did the first two seasons of Potomac, and it takes a minute to get into it, right? The only reason I think we started watching Salt Lake City and Dubai so early was because we started recapping all of the shows. But I didn't realize that there was a Southern Charm Savannah and a Southern Charm New Orleans. So I didn't realize that until I went on Peacock to look up Southern Charm.
And one of them did really well and shouldn't have been canceled. I forgot which one that was, but I don't know if it was Savannah or New Orleans, but people really liked it.
I think what happened is they probably jumped the gun and started spitting out the Southern Charm franchises way too fast, and people didn't catch on to them the same as they did the original. But who knows? What do we know over here? Which, by the way, guys, on our Let's Whine About It, I have some Bravo stuff that I want to talk about when normally it's not supposed to be about Bravo, but I got a really annoying email, so we'll talk about it tonight.
We'll whine about it.
Well, yeah, I'll whine about it. Speaking of which, let's move over before we start taking our callers. I see you guys down in the call log wait room, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta because we watched the new episode last night, and Marlo is for sure earning her peach, and Kenya is getting on her damn nerves. I think that we all established that last night. Now, Kenya is, she shows up to the house, she's giddy, and I'm going to say this, she's coming off a little annoying, because she's trying to piss off Marlo. Marlo keeps on wanting to have a conversation with her, and she's like, Kenya, can you please come to my room and talk to me? Kenya, I got you a gift bag. Kenya, if you're going to be on this girl's trip that's for me, that I planned, then I would like you to stay in the house or not be a part of the festivities. And Kenya's just like, girl, you just got your peach, and I don't care what you have to say.
I'm so here for the Kenya Marlo back and forth. I'm so here for it. I thought it was so entertaining and so childish and so ridiculous, especially the fact that they sat in the driveway for almost 2 hours before they went gemming or whatever that was.
That was so stupid.
That was kind of retarded. You're going to plant the rocks in the sand, give them a bucket and see what they can find, but it's not like you're actually,
we would sit there in the sandbox and we would dig and get like plastic dinosaur fossils, and that's what this felt like. Like I don't start a business, throw a bunch of rocks inside of a sandbox too, and say, here, dig.
Right. But okay, if you had to be like Team Marlo or Team Kenya in this episode, because I don't think I'm Team anybody. I loved the back and forth. I mean, yes, Marlo could have just let it go. She could be like, I'll talk to you later if if you're not ready right now. But then Kenya keep pushing too. She was just like, Kenya was there to have a fight.
Kenya was there to have, like, she really was. And I agreed with Kandi when Kandi was saying, if you expect people to talk to you a certain way and you don't want the drama, then why are you doing that to Marlo? Like, it's hypocritical. And I love watching Kenya on the show. But in this episode, she's trying, like, it was so clear that they were trying to paint Marlo as aggressive, and they're trying to kind of pull her back into that, like, because there was an interesting
moment where Marlo was chasing Kenya up the stairs, and Kenya said, don't put your hands on me, but the cameras were dropped during that whole time.
Right.
And it's like, were you trying to make it seem like she was trying to put her hands on you? Like, it was just a very odd, like, we didn't need that.
But I don't know
why Bravo likes to insert that.
Marlo keeps saying in the mic because she doesn't want people, she knows that she's being filmed. She's very aware. Like, her awareness is on point. She's not like drunk like the Fatum girl. And she's like she's like, I'm not touching you. Stop doing that. Because the producers were rushing her. And they're like getting in front of her and like trying to separate her. And she's like, I'm not going to touch her. Stop making it look like I'm trying to. I think
listen, Marlo has a past in this, right? But I think that, with her peach, she is on thin ice with that. She's not going to do it.
She's not. Well, and I don't think that she honestly wants to. I don't think she wants to put her hands on her. Like, even with Sheree Whitfield, they've gotten into a back and forth screaming at each other. Her and Kenya have screamed at each other. Her and Nene have screamed at each other. If anything, like, I saw last night where people are on Twitter and they're dragging Marlo, calling her like aggressive and, wild. But it's like you don't have a moment on the show like you do with some of the other women who have been on the show before, putting their hands on each other. Kenya has been in a physical altercation on the show. I mean, she got dragged off the reunion floor, but Marlo has not actually unless I'm forgetting something, she hasn't really put her hands on anyone.
I'm trying to remember.
Put her hands close to your face.
She does.
Yeah,
she does.
It's not like, I don't know. Anyways, getting back to it, I thought the real funny moment here too was this woman right here, because she showed up very visibly drunk. And I think that what happened was she got Brandi Glanville syndrome, and Brandi said that every time she would go to film something, she would get anxiety, so she would overdrink. This woman definitely showed up. The minute that she walked in the door, you could tell that she had a few too many, and Drew Sidora kept on calling her a dog with a bone. Now, she's calling her Sheree's lapdog. What are your thoughts about this?
I mean, okay. When we were first introduced to Fatum, I was not really a fan, but now I'm like here for her because I think she's just ridiculous and fun. And I can't believe how much that drives Drew crazy. I really can't. Just to break off really quickly, I'm really enjoying this cast.
I mean, it took a minute.
Like, it took a minute, but I feel like I'm watching Atlanta again, like pre-Bolo, you know? So I don't know.
In last season, I think that Drew Sidora she's a lot stronger this season. And I think everyone needs 2 seasons. Like Sutton, I thought she was very boring her first season. And then the second season, that's when she was calling out Erica. And I think for Drew Sidora, like I'm more interested watching her. I'm enjoying watching her, which I think is great for her. But she's also really good friends with Portia Williams. I think it's time to bring back Portia. And no offense, and this is not a dig, because last night, Sanya Richards-Ross, she came in, she carried the bone straight from Kenya right over to Marlo, and she stirred up some shit, which she was kind of laughing about. She knew the assignment and she completed it. But I think that she has such a bigger, more career that I don't think that she should probably be on reality TV. I think that she should, just pass that peach back over to Portia.
I would like to see more of her. I would like to see her in another season for sure. I think this episode, last episode, for me, I really have enjoyed Sanya. I would love to see Portia back, but I would love to keep everyone else as is.
Yeah. And I think going into next week too, I'm excited to see, because Kandi, a lot of people call Kandi boring, but she brings a huge audience with her onto the show. And for Kandi, one thing that you don't mess with, well, 2 things, and she always says it: her food and her family. And we see where she's having a sit down with her daughter Riley and Todd's daughter, and they're talking about a will. And she's blatantly telling Todd, I don't think I trust you to be the executor of a will and divvy it up. And Riley's sitting there calling out the situation, saying, I don't think that's fair. And I'm, like in my head, I'm like, she's worth over $30 million. Do you trust Todd that much? To really give Riley her part? I would make Riley the executor of the will.
That's going to be interesting to watch. I barely recognized Riley.
Well, she got a nose job.
It's crazy. It's just so crazy how these kids have grown up on reality television. It's just so crazy to watch. They become adults. They become adults before our eyes, and so quickly. It's insane.
All right. We're going to start bringing up callers. My last thing I wanted to do was talk about this and celebrate this for 2 seconds, because Tamra Judge is returning to the Real Housewives of Orange County, which I'm super excited about. We have an interview tonight at 5 p.m. I don't think we're posting it until Tuesday or Wednesday, but with Gina K from Real Housewives of Orange County. And nobody's confirmed if she's coming back or not, but they're supposed to start filming this week. Now, she came on. What I thought was interesting was she was on the night before on Watch What Happens Live. And when she was on with Vicky, and Vicky looked really sad. They were talking about Teddy Mellencamp, and Andy Cohen called Tamra after her dog Bronx passed away, and he said, I have bad news for you. And she's like, are you kidding me? Because she spent 2 months talking back and forth with producers, and they always go through the same thing. What do you have coming up? What's going on? What are the big moments happening in your life? That way they know kind of how to base the season around that person, that character, and how they're going to integrate back in. So they called her and let her know, hey, we're bringing you back on the show. And then she said, can I please be the one to tell Vicky? Andy said, well, I'm going to bring you both on Watch What Happens Live, and we're going to announce it then, which would have been a dick thing to do, right? That would have been terrible. Because Vicky, Vicky wants to be on the show. So why would you come on and be like, Tamra and Vicky, guess what?
That would have been shady as hell, and I would have loved to watch that, but I don't, I think out of respect for being one of the OGs, that did not happen that night.
Yeah.
But I liked the way it was revealed. Even though everyone kind of knew, it was a fun way to reveal it.
Yeah, it was a fun way to reveal it. And, I was excited that she did get her reveal. I'm excited to see her back. We still have yet to confirm Alexis Bellino, but that's the rumor. But I think that this is going to be a great way to save the franchise, because Heather Dubrow, no offense, I love Heather Dubrow, but I think that they dropped the ball with putting all of their eggs in one basket with her last season. And I'm really happy that Noella and Dr. Jen are not coming back.
Yeah, they were 2 people who only needed a season to prove their worth.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's like, okay, we don't need to see 2 seasons of you to see if you can stay on. I don't even think I could stand another season with Diana, really, on
And to
Beverly
be fair
Hills.
to Heather Dubrow, she sat there and she talked crap about Tamra being able to return to the show. And she's like, how can she return when she talks about housewives? And Tamra and Teddy actually did a podcast, their podcast, 2 T's in a Pod. And Tamra said, a lot of people, or Teddy asked, a lot of people want to know if you're going to continue to do the podcast. And she's like, drum roll. Yes, I'm doing the podcast. She's allowed to do the podcast and continue to talk about housewives. She's just not allowed to talk about Orange County, which we were saying
and
the whole
Heather
time.
has a podcast. Heather also mentions housewives on her podcast, so I think that's only fair.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
All right, let's go ahead and bring up some callers. I'm going to go in line here. Well, I'll do 3 at a time. Hi, Krista.
Hey.
Hi, Aaron. Hello, Joe.
Hi.
Hey, Joe. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, Krista. Hi, Joe.
Joe, are you muted? Did Joe change his avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he put sunglasses on it.
Oh, okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Joe, are you muted? Oh, Joe, you have an echo.
Hello.
Did Joe change his avatar?
Yeah, he put sunglasses on it.
Joe, you have an echo. You have to close the other page. We'll bring him right back up. All right. Hi, Krista. Hi, Aaron.
Hey.
Hi, ladies.
Krista,
Hi.
I saw you when we were talking about the Mormon situation with Brett and Madison and Southern Charm. You must really like Southern Charm because I saw you with all the
I am.
reaction.
I love Jim. I forget what we were talking. What did you guys say about him? That he was what were you saying?
He's
He was
Mormon.
like,
He's a firefighter.
he does have
He
money. I know he
has
has money, but I do. I believe that they're in love. I believe that she definitely was in love with him. Is in love with him because she would have brought him on the show. She would have never stepped down from the show if she wasn't in love with him. You know?
you think
Krista, I
that
don't think I'd be watching Southern Charm right now if you
What?
hadn't had promoted it so much.
Oh
to
my
us.
God. I don't know why anybody wouldn't be watching it. It's like, seriously, I feel that way about, I know, Aaron, I feel that way about Vanderpump and Southern Charm. They're like my 2, like number 1, but it might be because they've been around for so long too. Jason, that's no excuse. Jason, I'm glad you guys are watching it though.
Aaron, you're not a fan of Southern Charm?
No. No.
Why?
It made me watch
and
the
she
whole
hated it.
thing. It was
I mean, I
terrible.
watched season 1.
Okay.
It was 6 weeks of hell.
I thought she was gonna love it. I did. I was like, you're gonna get. I was like, wait, all right, season 4, you're gonna love it this time. I promise. She's like,
every season, she's like, no, the next one's better. She lied.
She lies. Okay.
But listen, this new crowd though, like this new, all right, we have to just keep it back, I think, to the old crowd. I don't like the new girls coming in and like they were okay last season, but they're trying to be Kim and like the gang. Like they're just trying to like gang up. They gang up on Catherine every single time they have any kind of event. Her parties, their parties. It's always a gang up and an attack on Catherine. Huh?
Catherine's kind of an easy target.
Because she was always reacting and she's trying really hard not to react now. And they know that she is in a custody battle with that piece of shit who, by the way, has drug charges and all kinds of stuff going on. So why is she fighting that guy for her children when she has her issues, but she's never been charged with anything? So yeah, I can go on and on about this one. But you know what? At this point, like the family court shouldn't really care about that.
No, you're right. Money shouldn't always make the difference.
Look at Tom Girardi. Like, look what happened in the end of that. The money really, in the end, it didn't really. The victims are not getting anything, but like money's not really going to get you that far.
Well, Krista, let's take it to your hometown because I don't think Aaron will be so reluctant with this. What are your thoughts about the 4-part wedding special?
I don't think definitely don't need 4 parts. It definitely needs its own separate thing because why are we going to take up 3 of our episodes for that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, not that everybody doesn't, it's 50-50. Not everybody loves Teresa. Not everybody hates Teresa, but come on, like it's a wedding. We know it's for Bravo. We know Bravo's paying for it. We know that's why she's doing it. We know that's why everybody's going to be there. She doesn't really want all of them there. So do not take up 4 of our episodes for that. Plus, we know what's happening. We know what's going on. Well,
I actually think she deserves her own special. A lot of housewives have gotten specials with weddings, and Teresa's one of the OGs. Even though I'm not thrilled about the specials, I will be watching. She is an OG. I want to see her get her happy ever after. So I'll be watching. I do agree with Krista. She doesn't need to have it during the season, and she deserves a special. She's one of the OGs, and a lot of other OGs got specials. So
That's a
Do
good
you
point.
think the only reason that she added Dolores and Jennifer Aiden to her wedding party was because of the Bravo special?
yes, yes.
I don't think. Okay, I don't think that's not the situation with Dolores, but the situation with the other ones. Like
she would have added Dolores before. If
that's what I'm saying. Dolores was going to be there regardless. I think in the end, Dolores would be there regardless. I don't think she's there because of the show.
But do you think she was added to the wedding party because of the show?
For the wedding party? No, not for the show.
But why wouldn't she have been added before?
Because they were fighting before. There was stuff going on before.
Well, and Dina Manzo dropped out from attending the wedding because they were filming it.
Dina?
Yeah.
I think if Dina was in it, Dolores.
That's horrible. That's awful. That Teresa would let that happen, honestly. I can't even. All right, you guys can move on. I'll start because that's awful that she did that.
Krista is getting emotional over some New Jersey.
No, but like, come on, Teresa. Like, come on. Thank God this is only for the wedding special. Honestly, like, I hope this isn't the one she's taken seriously. Okay. Because why would you do that you shouldn't do that to Dina.
But Housewives is a big part of her life. So the fact that
Dina and Dolores will be there before Housewives, and they'll be there after Housewives.
I'm not sure about Dina. Is her friend to the side, and Dina's still supporting her doing it. So as long as Dina's not mad at her, I don't think the rest.
She's a good friend, and Teresa's not. They're good friends.
Yeah, Jason's kind of a shitty friend.
Oh, Jason.
I'm just kidding.
All
right, we're gonna see. As long as we don't have echoes and stuff, we're gonna add more. Hello.
What's up?
How's it going?
Hey.
I'm good. What's up, everybody?
So I want to switch this up really quick. Do you guys want to go Beverly Hills, Orange County, Tamra getting her orange back, or are we going into Atlanta?
Can we go to Atlanta?
Atlanta?
Can we jump there?
Yeah.
I have a retort for you specifically, Adam.
Me?
Yes. I really do feel like Kenya is just very savvy at this whole reality show game. Marlo was definitely going to vilify her in that conversation. The conversation was going to be geared to her mentioning her nephews, right? And that would have further vilified Kenya. So Kenya played the game of, I will literally run around the house. And if you chase me, you will look thirsty enough to have this conversation. It was like Marlo was playing checkers and Kenya was like 5 steps ahead playing chess.
But I think, though, to be fair, I don't think that she would have been vilified, if that's the word. I don't think that would have happened because Kenya's approach to the whole conversation about her nephews really didn't make Kenya look bad. She said that this could further add to like abandonment issues and stuff. And Kenya shared her own story. So I don't think that she would have looked like a villain in this situation. I kind of agreed with Kandi when she said, you're asking for, the same respect and everybody not to play games with you and do this. And why are you doing this to Marlo?
Well, that's the checkers and chess of it, right? Like, that's someone who's conscious enough to understand that Kenya has some childhood trauma that directly relates to what Marlo did. But Marlo is just thinking, Kenya talked about somebody's kids, so now I'm going to say Kenya talks about kids and she's below the belt. Like, Kenya is so many steps ahead. And a little bit earlier, you guys mentioned Marlo has never done anything like put her hands on somebody. Well, she did put her hands on Portia. She took a fan out of her hand and then they stood up like they were about to fight. And then she chased Portia thirstily, might I add, around that Halloween party. So Marlo is always looking for a moment. The problem is she should probably do it with somebody that's like ABC 1, 2, 3, like Drew, as opposed to Kenya, who is very conscious of what she says and does. So,
to add to what you're saying, though, I do agree with you. Like thinking about it, because Cynthia Bailey's ex, Peter, did an interview and he said that Kenya is kind of like a queen of reality TV in the sense that she always knows her next move and she knows how to navigate the cameras very well. And when I sat there and I did my interview with Fallon a long time back, I didn't realize that my phone screen was cracked. Oops. When I sat there and did my interview with Fallon a while back, I remember having the conversation about how some of the women on the cast knew what their storylines were going to be going into the new season. And then the ones who didn't, who were just like, I want to be friends with everybody and really just film and see what happens. Those are the ones who don't last. So I think that Kenya is very, like you said, savvy when it comes to reality TV, and she's been in the game long enough. I agree with that, but you have a lot of opinions, so I definitely want your opinion on this situation.
Okay. Yikes. I think that Fatum, she rolled into the scene correct. The scene at Kenya's daughter's party. I liked Fatum. I thought she was on it. When she rolled into Chateau Charest, she rolled in a Bentley truck. She has furs and stuff like that. So she has the makings of a housewife. I just think that they should have never served her liquor because she looked sloppy. She looked drunk. And again, if Drew looks good in a situation, that means that the other person looks really bad, like really bad.
Yeah.
I think it really is the Brandi Glanville syndrome. I think, like when Brandi talked about how like she would get so much anxiety going into a filming situation, because Jason and I used to watch it when they would film Vanderpump Rules, and we would see, like, for example, she's not on the show, so I can talk about it. Kristen Doty would sit there and wait to film, and the producers would talk to her and they would be like, hey, are you ready to film? And she's like, yeah, I'm ready. And they're like, oh no, she's too sober. Just go run up a tab, grab a drink at the bar. She would come back 5 minutes later. She'd be like, hey, I'm ready. And then they would push her back like 30 minutes to an hour. And then she'd come up and she'd be like, where's my fucking scene? And like, she like wasted. And producers are like, oh, you're ready now.
Cameras up.
Up. This is going to be great.
And she was never smart enough to look at her edits year after year and say, maybe I need to push away from the table. I think Brandi is a poster child for what not to do on reality TV, because she had every option to come back. When Brandi went to, I think, Kyle's charity event, the one where Garcelle raised her paddle and didn't pay.
But she did pay.
No,
there's more things that she paid.
That's just me being shady. Sorry, guys. Krista knows. I'm
she
purposely
paid.
shady. I love Garcelle. Sorry, when Brandi was there at that event, that was her chance to really get back on the show. Those demons with the alcohol are ever present with her. I don't know if it's just being on the show is her problem, or if she just needs to stay away from alcohol altogether, like Dorinda. Because there's something there. I'm not a doctor. Mm-hmm.
You don't think this Ultimate Girls Trip like tested Brandi, and she did like she got like a good A- on the drinking and the reacting? Don't you think better than Drunken? I think that
reactions were better. I'm with Krista. She walked away when the thing at the bar with
she
Dorinda.
knew not to
She
react.
never would have done that before. She's in a much mind space better. So
you know who a smart housewife
Y'all are
is?
so positive.
Karen Huger from Potomac, she saw herself drunk on TV one time and took one time. And then you saw her in the latest seasons where she's like, I'm not drinking around these women. I mean, you've seen her drunk maybe more than one time, but she saw her edit. She's like, I'm not going to get wasted around these women. I don't trust them. And I want to know
her vaccinated.
everything that I say.
It was
okay. When her wig was shifted, I hope that she was drunk and not sober.
That was the wind.
Like, look, Ultimate Girls Trip was a dress rehearsal for these ladies, and 4 of them passed, or I think all but 2 passed. I think.
Yeah, I thought the ladies did great.
Armstrong definitely doesn't need to be back on our screens. Jill Zarin, I really don't need her back. I like Dorinda, but I think that Brandi made a great point by saying you are getting aggressive when you're drinking, and that was the same reason you got put on pause, and this isn't going to bring you back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shouldn't she have taken her own advice?
But she didn't react this time. She tried.
I thought Brandi and Tamra knocked it out of the park.
It just...
I think that's
but
why
I think that
Tamra's
Brandi
back.
too. I think Brandi came to the scene with the ultimate like mic drop of I slept with Denise Richards, and I think in her mind she's like, if that didn't get me back on the show, I'm not.
I think she's fine not being back on her show. I think she's happy in her podcast. Now you guys know I did not like Brandi. Remember I said we might as well call her a meth head today. First episode, I was like, she's the one. I was saying all that, and I turned it around. She turned it around for me. Like I thought she was going to be a nut job, and I'm like, you know what? She looks a mess. We should be saying that's what she's doing, but like she honestly was the opposite, and like I take it back. Like I honestly cannot say anything really that bad about her. Like she didn't. She kind of just.
You already called her a meth. I'm just glad that I'm not the shadiest person on this panel right now. Like
no, I'm bad.
You kind of started off that way. but it maneuvered. It switched over.
Aaron's like, what am I doing here?
What's so funny, Adam, is I've actually been subscribed to you since the beginning. I think like one of my earliest memories of your channel, you were doing like some giveaway where it was like some trip or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so funny. We have a lot of mutual friends. Jolene will be like, well, did you see this? And I'm like, I do watch Adam. It's been since the beginning, just because I'm not always here because you go on at times that I'm at work. So
Yeah.
no, I watch or whatever. And the Adam that I know, you've cursed like twice or 3 times today, and my mind is blown.
Right?
No. But those were accidents. Those were slip-ups.
They're minor slip-ups too, Adam. Mine are always slip-ups.
Those were slip-ups. That's not me. That's not the
Okay.
real me.
That's secret Adam. It's just the other Adam. It's dark
But
shadow
guys,
Adam.
I got to run. This has been so much fun. Hopefully we can do it again.
Yes.
Bye,
We'll see you
everybody.
next time, and thanks for coming on with your retort.
Okay.
Retort.
All right, ladies. Well,
I love them.
and
Oh,
ladies,
that's
Jason, you being one of them.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to be back tonight at 7 p.m. We're going to go get ready for our interview with Gina, which should be dropping tomorrow or Wednesday. I have a lot of things that I want to ask Gina about this whole domestic violence situation, Tamra coming back. Obviously, I want to know what's going on with her business, and will she be coming back to the Real Housewives of Orange County?
That's what I wanted to know. We don't know that yet, right? We don't have a
No,
definite.
but maybe, I mean,
Maybe
I'm
on
allowed
this
to, for once, normally when we get interviews, and Jason knows this, usually you get pretty censored as to like what you can ask, and Bravo doesn't want you to
Right.
leak anything before they end up leaking it. But we didn't get censored on this interview. We're allowed to ask whatever we want. So
Is that bad? That's bad. That means she's not coming back, right? Oh, I thought you
That
said
doesn't
that.
mean she's
Not
No.
necessarily. Not
Oh,
necessarily.
okay. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
No.
I'm just saying. That
You know what happens?
makes sense. What?
No, what happens is sometimes it depends who's filtering the interviews, because sometimes the talent just goes through Bravo PR because they have a designated like person who handles all their PR, or if they have their own publicist and management, then they'll go through the publicist or the publicist or the managers, and then they'll book the interview, and then it's up to them to decide how the talent is handled. So it really just depends. And then
I think they trust you too. Honestly, I think Bravo trusts you too.
oh well, we're gonna.
Oh,
get
we'll
into
talk
that
about
tonight,
that
so let's lie
tonight.
about it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
because I have some to say.
Okay.
For sure. All right. So, guys, 7 p.m. tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be doing Let's Whine About It. Make sure you join. The link is pinned at the top of the live chat. Just go click that, smash that like button, the YouTube stuff. We're going to go get ready for this interview. Krista, Aaron, thank you guys for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later. That was fun.
That
And I
was
know that there
fun.
were a few more callers in, guys. I promise we'll be back. I know that, Jason, you have Anchor Watch tomorrow. Then we have Beverly
Watch
Hills and
tomorrow.
Dubai recaps on Wednesday or Thursday. And then
Thursday, unless you want to do it Wednesday night, but I feel like because we had to do it Wednesday night because we were traveling this week, but I feel
I don't
like
like doing
the
it
West
at
Coast
night.
doesn't get to see it yet, so we can recap it when everyone's watched it the next day.
Yeah, and I think it's good. It's like it gives me time to digest
The process, the information you've been given by all the ladies.
or forget it. Yeah.
That's
All
it.
right. All right. So again, guys, smash the like button. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you for the super chats, the callers. Thank you to everyone who engaged in the live chat. We love you guys, and we will see you in a little bit. We're dropping pre-records right after this. Bye, guys.